Welcome, dear friends of family research from Germany and abroad. On behalf of the Roland zu Dortmund e.V., I would like to welcome you to the online Roland presentation. Today we have Annegret Gräfe and Helene Debacq from Heredis as guests. They will tell us about the genealogy software Heredis 2021, which is available for Windows and Mac. After the presentation, we will keep this meeting open and invite you to join us in the virtual Roland Café, where we can talk and exchange ideas. This has been very successful so far. Let's see if we can do this in English as well. This web meeting was again technically prepared by Georg. Thanks to Georg, and also thanks to his wife Nancy for your supports. On our Roland homepage, you can find the dates of our upcoming events, and you can also register for another of our online presentations or the online Roland Werkstatt. You can also inform yourself about this via our Roland mailing list or the Ruhr, Westphalia and Comgen mailing lists. The next Roland Werkstatt is on Friday, February 19th, and the next Roland presentation is next Tuesday, February 9th. Günther Ofner from Austria will be our speaker. He will present Familia Austria, the Austrian Society for Genealogy and History. And now to our presentation today, which is something special for us. And now, please, Georg, you want to say something about the technique.
Okay, thank you, Angela, and I will share my screen, and I would like to give you some general information. So, like Angela said, after the official part of this meeting, we are inviting you to our virtual Roland Café. That means that this Zoom meeting room will remain open for further talks, questions, discussion, connections, and maybe then you will have the chance to get yourself a tea, coffee, snack, or get your lunch then or dinner, wherever you are here in the world, and enjoy the time together. This will be after the official part of the meeting. And I want to introduce you to the online German genealogy calendar, a new calendar where it's an overview for all interested genealogists, what's going on in Germany or in our neighbor countries, which kind of online meetings are scheduled, and so you can easily import if there's something there what's interesting for you. I will put the address in the chat, and every genealogical organization can enter their online events with no registration, and it helps by planning online events. If you are planning an online event and you can see maybe there on that day there are many others, maybe you can choose another day. So if you can understand the German language, so check the calendar for interesting online events. And upcoming virtual events, the bigger ones is now coming this month, February 12th until the 14th. It's the first German Genealogica online. And in March, we have the Westfälischer Genealogentag for all the genealogists who have ancestors from Westphalia, Germany. So it's in March 20 for 2 days on a weekend. And the biggest event in English language, the virtual conference from the International German Genealogy Partnership. And we will hear in a few minutes, we will hear from this International German Partnership, because the Roland zu Dortmund is hosting this event tonight or this morning for you in the States, together with the International German Genealogy Partnership. And the IGGP conference is from July 17th, virtual conference until the 24th of July, and everyone is welcome to join this biggest, except the Rootstack is maybe a little bit bigger, but then the IGGP conference is a real big event in July. And we have, if there is somebody of you with German roots and you need to check Protestant church records online, there's this big portal called Archion, Germany's online portal for Protestant church records, and you can get a 7 days free trial code when you write to the email address, my email address at the Roland, georg.palmüller@roland-zu-dortmund.de. I will put this address into the chat too. And when you write an email with the subject Archion free trial, I will send you a 7 days free trial code. And then you can check all these digitized church records from the Protestant churches in Germany. And Angela said more information and the upcoming events you will find on our homepage, www.roland-zu-dortmund.de. We will put all these addresses into the chat. Maybe Nancy can start with that, and I will put some more addresses. And it's some technical advice. We will mute all your microphones, or we have muted all your microphones. So you can, when you want to ask something, or you want to have, or you have a comment, you can turn on your microphone by clicking on this button here. This is a German version of the Zoom bar. You can click on the microphone to unmute your microphone, but I think it's the best if you keep your questions until the end of the presentation. Or let's see how Annegret Gräfe and Helene Debacq from Heredis would like to manage the questions. They will tell you. And you can turn your camera on and off with this button, and you can open the participants list and the chat. And you can type your questions and comments into the chat, and Annegret from Heredis will check the chat and will read the questions to the presenter, to Helene. And or you can raise your hand, and I will show you this, how this works. So if you click on the participants list, down below you have a hand raise function, raise your hand function. Here in German, it's Hand erheben. You have to check this corner. Maybe there is another word for this in your English version of Zoom. But you can raise your hand, and a blue hand will appear, and Nancy will call you then that you can ask your question. So if you click on hand raising function, then please wait until your name will be called. And for all the links in the chat, you can save the chat. If you click on chat, the chat box will be opened. And here you have, down below, you have a little square box with 3 dots in it. If you click on this 3 dots, a menu will appear and you can save the chat. So before you want to leave the meeting later, make sure to click on these 3 dots to save the chat. And that's all from me, and I will take back my screen sharing right now, and I want to call the president of the, I always say United Nations of Genealogy, the International German Genealogy Partnership, I will call Ingeborg Carpenter from Sacramento, California. Ingeborg, are you there?
I am. Thank you so very much, Georg. Well, I need to say greetings from California, but I am amazed. You know, we're represented really, truly from the whole world, from the top of the world in Northern Canada and Sweden, all the way to the bottom of the world in New Zealand. I am so impressed. And while the Germans that are settling down to a cozy winter evening, we here in California are just finishing our breakfast. And it's amazing that we can all be together on this platform. I would like to thank Mr. Palmüller and Ms. Gräfe very much for making this connection session possible in English. So thank you for sharing with us the information, because family researchers, as you can tell, it's very important to us. It's good to know that there is more than one platform available for family researchers. So I was really eagerly awaiting this presentation, just like everybody else. With over 160 participants, I'm not the only one needing to have an option other than Ancestry or Family Search, it seems. You know, the goal of the International German Genealogy Partnership is to connect family researchers worldwide, and sessions like this further that goal. And looking at all these places, as I said, this is a very, very important information to everybody. So this morning we truly are worldwide. And I would like to thank Annegret and Helene and Roland to Dortmund. And I eagerly await this presentation like everybody else. So welcome and thank you very much, and keep going to the IGGP website to be informed what all is going on in German genealogy the world over, and especially if you're interested in the into the conference this summer, please keep informed on the website. I see that Nancy put it into the chat. So very much and thank you, and have a good evening to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ingeborg. And now I will call Annegret from Heredis to start our Heredis presentation today. Annegret, are you ready to share your screen or to speak?
Yeah. So also welcome to this evening, and hello to everyone all over the world. Me and my colleague, we are really delighted to, I will just try to make the presentation on, sorry. We are really delighted to show you today our newest version, and to show you especially also the main features of Heredis, our genealogy software. So thank you for your interest, thank you for your coming, and thank you also to the Association Roland zu Dortmund and the IGGP to have organized this event and to have invited us to present Heredis today. Before I wanted to start, I would like to introduce you, my colleague Helene and I, so that you have an idea who we are, who is presenting to you Heredis. So I will just make this starting. I hope you can see the presentation right now.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. So, pardon. So my colleague Helene, she will later show you more in detail our genealogy software, especially like our English version we are presenting today. And she is one of our most experienced members of the Heredis team when it comes about to talk or to search for genealogy. She's doing genealogy since her age of 13, and in 2017 she got her university diploma of genealogy and family history. At Heredis, she's working as a training officer for the French, especially for the French our French clients, but also as a customer relations officer, mostly for our English-speaking clients. And my name is Annegret Gräfe. I'm German. I'm actually fascinated about history since my childhood, but Before I started working at Heredis, I never came across genealogy, so I'm quite new in this field. But right now, I am working at the Communication and Partnership Relations Officer for the German market at Heredis. So again, welcome from us both. And before we start the presentation, I would like to give you a little overview about our structure today. I will give you a little introduction into who is Heredis, about what we are developing, what we are offering. And then Helene will give you a detailed overview of the main or most important features of our newest version, Heredis 2021. And afterwards, we will have a little surprise. I won't tell something right now more. But also we have time to talk about, to discuss, to answer your questions if you have. And we will also make little breaks between our presentations. So if you have questions in between, you're welcome to ask them in these little breaks, or also to write them in the chat, and then we will collect them and we will try to answer them all during the breaks or in the end of our presentation. Who is Heredis? Heredis is a French software company. We have been founded in 1994 by our founders, Bernard and Sylvette David, which came to this idea actually a little bit by accident, because there was a family member of the both, who was searching for a genealogy software which is easy to use and which is intuitive, and he couldn't find it at this time for his Mac, so he asked the both of them. And Bernard, who was at this time working as an informatician, and Sylvette, who was very active in genealogy, they just take it in their own hand and they developed their own software. And it became so much a success that afterwards also people using Windows wanted to have the software as well. So they developed afterwards a version for Windows, and that's actually how everything has started. Today we don't have only two people or two employees who are developing and working for Heredis. We are 22 at all, and we are working. Most of us are working in Montpellier, which is our head office in the south of France. In 2014, it's also an important date for us, because our two founders, they got retired. And they give us the possibility, or the employees at this time, to buy the software, to buy the company, and to continue this project. They have started 17 years before. No, 20 years. Oh, I'm sorry, 20 years before. So now we are working like as a in corporation together, and managed by all of us, and to continue with this project and to develop our genealogy application. There are a few things which also stayed the same, and this is one of us, that's our objective, which is that to develop the best family tree application. Then also our philosophy, which is that our user is the point of reference. That means that we are working closely together with our users, because our point of view is that our user, they know the best what to do, what they need for their everyday work, for their everyday research in genealogy. And so that's the idea of us, to work with them closely together, and to develop our application. As already mentioned, our main product is, or the heart of Heredis, is our family tree software, which we are developing for Windows and Mac. But we are also offering other products which are connected to genealogical research. This is our free family tree app for Android and iOS, so you can find it easily on the Play Store or also the App Store. If you like to download it and to try it. And we also providing an online platform which is called Heredis Online, and which is on one side a database. So if you're searching for ancestors or family members, you can go on the website of Heredis Online and you can search for them there. And on the other side, it's also a platform where you can publish your genealogy. So, but this, I think, Helene, she will show you a little bit more when we are going to our software, how this is working. But today we are focusing on our software mainly. So I just want to give you a few general information about this. Heredis is a full technical art to do your genealogy, to research your ancestors. And for this, we have more than 150 features. So today can just show you a part of this because it's just too much otherwise, or it will take a lot of hours to do so. So with these features, they are will help you to do your genealogy. And we also have the idea with this that you do your main operations. You can do your main operation to do your genealogy with Heredis, and you don't have to get out or use third-party programs for the most important things. We are also kind of a really international company right now. We have not only a French version, but since 2003, we have an English version. So it's already a few years ago. And recently, since 2019, we also have a German version. And all in all, we have around 100,000 users all over the world. So it's really great also to have this evening a lot of people from all over the world here. Another important point are the main features of Heredis. So Heredis is accompanying you from A to Z in doing your genealogy, researching your ancestors. So this is starting with tools to find your ancestor and their records to recreate their history, which means, for example, that you have access to the main or the biggest genealogical database, like Family Search or also Ancestry. From our software, you have also access to online archives, which have published on which have uploaded their records, and this all over the world. And you have also access to Heredis Online. The core and also the heart of the software is to manage and organize genealogical data. That means that you have a lot of possibilities to put in your data, what you have found during your research, but and you have also the possibility to customize it. Like depending on your needs, you can personalize the fields we are proposing to put in all the data you have found during your research. A third important point Heredis is providing is that you can also present your research you have done either by creating family trees charts or also by other innovative tools. For example, you can create and edit family books. You can also create and edit lists. And we also present or give you the possibility to publish your genealogy online via Heredis Online. So you have a website which you can share with your family members, or also with the genealogy community. And in the end, Heredis provides as well a possibility to analyze and track your results. So we have a special tool which is called the search tracking, where you have an overview about where you are in your genealogy, which means you can see via the generations where you still have to search for records, where you still have to search for ancestors. And you have also another tool which shows you statistics about your genealogy, which means like to see, for example, where are all your ancestors from, or which was the most common name in your genealogy in your family. So there are a lot of possibilities. I just want to give you this little overview about our software, our company. And if you don't have any questions about this, I would give or pass to Alain to show you more in detail our new version Heredis 2021.
So a few things are important in Heredis. The first thing is that Heredis is a desktop software. It means that your data is yours. It's stored in your computer. So it's not shared if you do not want to share it. If you want to share it, you can. That's okay. You have a few buttons to click, and then you will be able to share it with the genealogy community. Sorry. If not, that's your choice, and you can keep it on your computer. That's one thing. The second thing is that Heredis is mostly customizable. We'll see that through the presentation. So here is the main screen of Heredis for Mac. It's the same for the Heredis for Windows. The difference is for Windows, you do not have this kind of menu. You have tabs, but they are the same. So as you can see, you can fold and unfold the tabs you want to use, the panel you want to use on the left and on the right. These buttons are called, I forgot how to say boussole in English. Annegret, if you know, it's a compass. That's it, got it. So it's our navigating compass that is kind of the Heredis Touch. It's been here since 1994, sorry. The main screen here in the middle is composed of tabs, different tabs that we will talk about in a few minutes. And you can have different view of the family tree you are working on. So here is the immediate family. We have an XXL family. We'll talk about it later. Just click on the buttons and you will change the view. And we have a toolbar here. It's the default toolbar, but you can customize it with a customized button. I would like to move this. I can't. Okay. So you can click on customize and change the buttons so you can access quicker to you the functions you are using. And also most of the functions are available from the menus here. So that's the interface. What is important to know that in Heredis you have a root person, which is the Anantafel #1, the person at the base of the family tree you're working on. And we have also the primary person. That's a very important notion. Why? Because when you create a chart or a book, it's also it always starts from the primary person. So it's very important to understand that the primary person is the one here in the middle. It's the one you can see here, Thomas Christopher. It's the one with the big box here in the family XXL family view, and it's the one here where you can add data, input data. Do you have any question on that part? Annegret, if you see some questions.
At the moment, no.
So
Okay.
everyone who wants to ask or who has a question can unmute his microphone.
Can you change the primary person?
Yes, of course. You can navigate by drag and drop, or double clicking here in any person of the persons panel. Just double click and you will navigate either on the data tab or here in the immediate family or wherever you were when you close the family tab. So to navigate, just put the person you want in the middle of the screen. You can also, sorry.
Primary person is different from the number one, the base person.
Yes, yes. For example, here we have Christopher Thomas, who's my number four. And if I click on root person here, the root person button, we can see that my root person is grandson, Peter Thomas.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's another question. Can colors be assigned to family lines? It's a question from Therese Beckman.
Can you repeat? I didn't hear you well.
Can colors be assigned to family lines? But I think maybe we come later to this.
With the graph here. Yeah, I think we will answer that in a few moments. I am looking at the chat. I should not. Annegret, do you have another question?
Yeah, there's another question. I would like to have the Kekule numbers also in the left row with all names of the persons to navigate very easily to someone else to the direct ancestors. Is this adjustable? Quite difficult to understand. Maybe Madame Lindner can tell us
what is a Kekule number? Is that like an
the German, the Annentafel number?
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't get that. You can change the root person at any time. Just for example, if I put Jack Thomas as a primary person, I can click on person menu and define as a root person. This way, I will have both his mother and his father's branches. So you can change it at any time.
Yes, this is Heike. So sorry, I'm a little bit cold. But that was not the point of my question. So okay. There's the left-hand side, this tablet with all the names in on the left right, this one there.
Yeah.
And if also I also put in all the sisters and brothers of someone, and from my ancestors, there they were not very creative with names, so they have a lot of same names. So, but to identify if this one is the correct one or the direct ancestor or not, so it would be easier for me if you put the instead of those.
Okay, I see.
Here's the numbers in front of it, so then I can navigate very easily.
You can click on branches and you will have not the numbers, but you will have the generations and the ancestors of the primary person. You can also, if the primary person has kids or descendants, you can click on descendants to see the descendants.
Yeah.
I forgot to click here. So you can look here and use the summary here on the right panel in order to identify who is the person you clicked on, you selected.
Yes.
Does that answer?
Yeah, I do know, but then they're from generation on and not from the names on. So I have to, if you have, these are just a few ones. So
okay. So for the moment, it's not possible, but we do take note of that. We will download the chat afterwards and see the video when it will be available. So we will talk about it with our team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, other questions about the main screen, or should we go on?
I think we can go on the main screen. There are no other questions, and the others I think we can discuss later.
Okay, okay. So Heredis is your is really a genealogical assistant. It helps you through most of what you have to do in genealogy. For example, for the research part. So if you want to research directly from Heredis, you can. Just a moment, I will put I decided who is my primary person. Then I click on the search tab here. I will see family search in a few moments. I click on the search wizard and I have all of the data on him and his relatives, like his brothers and sisters and parents. That's their main events, and all of the events for Thomas Christopher. And then at the bottom of the screen, we can launch a web search. You can choose from what website you want to launch the search. So, for example, Heredis Online, totally by hazard. I choose Heredis Online, and you can see that all the data is already in the fields. I can change the spouse if he had multiple spouse, and I can launch the search by clicking here on search. If I click on the indented wheel, I can select over websites, like for example Ancestry, but in French or in German. I can add my own websites also, and then if I want to search on all the websites at the same time, I can click here on search on all sites. I will only do Heredis Online, otherwise my connection will crash. There you go. So once I launched the search, I'm here on Heredis Online. Heredis Online is the database where our customers decided to publish their researches. So you can access their website if you just launch a search on someone in your family tree. Then you click and access the website. You can, if you want to publish, we'll see that later, but you can add a password. So sometimes you will have a little box telling you that the website is password protected. So you will be able to contact the author. So that's for search wizard. Then you can search family search on family search database. So if you have an account, just click to log in. Otherwise, you can create one. So here is my primary person. So it's very important to understand what is a primary person. You can delete some data if you want by clicking on the cross, and then you can also add more criteria to add the parents and the spouse. Then you can launch the search, and you will have all the possibilities of family search. The more criteria you put, and the more difficult it will be to find someone that really corresponds to what you were searching. So I'm gonna search again with less criteria, and there I can see a lot of different Christopher Thomas. So I can check them. I can look when I select one. Here the summary changes and tells you who he is, what data family search has on him. I will change my primary person because it doesn't, my presentation doesn't work otherwise. There you go. So I'm searching for Anna Klein. And all I know is that she was born in France, not far from Germany, actually. So here I have one that might be the one. So I see her parents and her family search number and her birth information. If I click on compare, I will compare what I have on my file in Heredis and what is on family search. So you can see that both have the same parents. It looks like it's the same one. So I can link the person. So my Annegret is linked to the family search Annegret. It doesn't import the data. You can do it, but it doesn't import it. It just link it. So you have the number here on your file. That's the only thing that will be added if you click on link. Once you've done that, you can go on import and decided that you want to import the data from Heredis primary person, or from the family search number and you enter the number, or from yourself if you have a family tree on the family search. You can change the number of ancestors generations. You can add more or less, your choice. Be careful, because if you add like 99 generations, you will import a lot of data, so it will take a lot of time, and maybe you want to check the data first. Here you can add to import the children and the alternate names. If I click on it, import, we will see how many people will be added to my 9 person had been imported. So I can, here Julie Stroll didn't have parents, now she does, because on family search they were data. And how do I see that? Well, through that number, the family search number. It means that the person was imported and we can see the family search number. Then the last but not less way to launch search in Heredis, it's the online archive. If you click on online archive, or if you click on find menu and then search in online archives, you will access multiple websites from all over the world. So we added a website that we were aware of, or some of our customers send us suggestions. It can, some website can not be in there, so feel free to suggest an archives here from the suggest an archive button on the bottom right. You can go to, for example, Germany here, and Annegret will be very happy to add more websites if you do not find what you are searching for. I do not speak German, sorry, so I will cheat a bit and go directly to the census I've looked into. So I opened the US online archives, and I chose family search also to access the collection, because the tool we saw before was to access the publication, the global tree. Here we can access the collection of family search. So I found a census from 1920 in Boston. Here we have a Christopher Thomas married to a Nora Thomas. If I go back to my file, I can see that I have a Thomas Christopher married to a Thomas Nora, and in fact that's them. So I can, since I have found their census, I can zoom or unzoom. I don't know if it's the right word. Sorry, focus or not focus on the image, so I can then wait until the image is very clear to read. Then here I have a capture button. If I click on it, it makes a screenshot of what I found. Then I can rename the screenshot. It's very important because if you do not rename it here, you will never be able to rename it later. And to search inside of a media index, it's very complicated if you have that kind of name. So I will say Boston census 1920 Thomas family, for example. You can edit the image in order to change it. So as you can see, the zoom was not very clear, so I can zoom here with the tool we added. Where is Christopher? I didn't, yes, he is here. I can click on edit and turn on the right or on the left if the digitized record is not properly digitized. It happens sometimes. I can change the brightness or the contrasts and change the sharpness, switch black and white, and invert, so you will have a like microfilm like image. We can crop also from here. If I close, Heredis will ask me if I want to apply the changes I made. If I click on no, then the changes will not be applied. I can also crop from here. So in order not to have all of this image, I can just crop to keep only the part I want. Where are they? Up. There. Click on crop, and then you will have a cropped image. You can make a save. I really advise to make a save on your hard drive disk or on cloud, for example. For the images, it's not a problem. So feel free to keep a copy. Why? Because we do not know how the images will be in 20 years. We do know that the numerized, digitized images can, sometimes not, but sometimes they can degrade, like they can be less readable. So do make a save. This way you will be able to relaunch in 3 clicks in Heredis. I don't know if I'm clear, so feel free to interrupt if I'm not. Before to continue, do you have any question on the research part?
There was a...
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, there is a question. Can you download the whole document at this stage and attach it to the person by entry Parmentier?
Yes, I will show you with the import part just after that part.
Okay, I had a quick question that you switched from one screen to another, and I was wondering if you would mind sharing with us what the key combination was for switching from this screen to the other one.
I don't know the key combination. I clicked here on the yellow button. I'm not good with keyboards.
Okay.
But in the online help the knowledge base, we have here on help. Well, I can't access it because I'm working on something. You can click on Heredis help, and you will access the knowledge base. And I do remember added an article on the shortcuts.
Okay, so,
So
because this screen is different. Sorry, this screen is different than the other one. I'm done. Thank you.
Elaine, Corpus has a question. Corpus has a question.
Sorry,
Corpus?
just on the family search, does one have to be a fully paid member, or can one just register on that website?
No, you can register for free and access to most of their collection. I don't recall you have to pay anything. I use it all the time and I have a free account.
Okay, so if you have Heredis 2021 like we all have, then that will give us that link to family search.
It will access to your account on family search, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
Appears you have several duplications of names. Anna Klein would be an example from your genealogy. Is there a reason why the name would appear several times, the same name?
Yes, because it can be homonyms. And sometimes they are not entered the same way inside of family search, for example. So you will see in that you will see a lot of homonyms. Yes, you were talking about the family search research, right?
You listed family names on the left-hand side. Frequently in my program shows duplicates. Myself, for example, I'm in there twice.
Here, you mean on the persons panel?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it can happen if you input data without noticing that there is a matching person. I will show you in a few moments how not to add person that already exists. And it can also be from an import. If you import a GETCOM file, then sometimes you can have duplicates, and there is a tool in Heredis to search for duplicates. I will not show them right now, but you will be able to do it. Okay, wait a minute. Here, and search for duplicates here. Then you can compare both persons and decide if you want to merge them or not. So find duplicates.
Helene, yes, Georg, I have a
Yes.
question. My family tree is on Ancestry.
Yes.
And when I create an empty Heredis file,
yes.
Can I import my complete tree from Ancestry into Heredis?
Yes, but you will have to create a GETCOM file from Ancestry.
Okay. Yep.
Make sure to use the UTF-8 encoding. If you do not, the special characters like accents will disappear. So do use the UTF-8 encoding to create the GETCOM file, and then you will be able to open the file either from the main page. Sorry, I forgot that you can click here. Here you can choose a GETCOM file. Click on OK, and you will launch the Finder or the Windows Explorer in order to access the GETCOM file. And if you have already a file opened, a new file open, then just click on here, File, Import, and choose the kind of file you have. For example, GETCOM file.
Okay, so it's via GETCOM files. So, okay,
yes.
that's that I understand. I thought about to import a complete tree I have on Ancestry with all the pictures and all this. But
the pictures won't be inside of the GETCOM file. A GETCOM file is a text kind of file. It's a text format. So you will have to do a little upload of your media, sorry, and then you will be able to put them back from the media index here. Then on the check media. You check the media, it will say, hey, we do not have the media, so you will be able to get them back. You can use the Heredis help that I tried to show you before. And everything is explained in English and in German and in French, of course. It's dark because I have a special theme here, sorry. It's not supposed to be dark. So for example, if I enter Ancestry, I know there is an article telling you how to export from your family tree from Ancestry.
Yeah, okay.
And we talk about the media too here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, all good. Any other questions for the moment?
No, I think it's fine from what I've seen.
Okay. Yes.
Maybe I can give you some add-on for the import of the GETCOM file, as I did it yesterday. I imported about 1,200 persons from Ancestry to already using Heredis file, and it had been very easy and very uncomplicated, especially as same persons or similar persons you may compare. You may compare on the display, and you also can transfer just only missing records. So that means if you have the same person on the left side and on the right side, you have an overview on the display and you can compare the details and say, okay, I want to have the address or the location or something else, and I want to merge them. And also of already imported persons. So that means you also can import the whole GETCOM file, and it's like something like a separated database. And if you say I want to import this person, it's very easy and very clear. And yesterday it works perfect.
Okay, thank you. Yes, indeed, you can do that with Heredis. Okay, shall we go on? Okay, I take that as a yes. So we had a screenshot, and now we are going to process to the screenshot. What should we do with it? So if I click on process, I will either be able to save it in the media index for later, or I can enter the data from a census. If it's a census, it launches a census grid. I will show you, because now we are in the input part. So Heredis can help you input data. You can also link this media to a person if it is like a picture of the person. If you click here on link to a person, it will be the media will go here in the profile media. Then you can also link to an already existing event if the event already exists. You can select the person on your file here on the right in the matching persons list, or you can add a new person. For the example, I will show you how to use the census grid. So I click on enter data from a census and validate. Let's have it bigger here too. Yeah. So you can zoom, focus to be able to read the image. So we have Christopher here, Thomas, and his wife, Nora. The census is from the US, but you can change it. So we studied a few countries, French-speaking countries, but also American, actually English-speaking countries. If you do not find it, just click on Other, and you will be able here to enter the city anyway. So you will be able to know which country it is from. If you do choose Other, feel free to untick the boxes here in order to have only the fields you want to see, not all of them. Because according to a census, the boxes can change, the data can change. For example, I will talk about French census because I know them most. For example, in 1931, in the French census, you could add the religion, but not in another year, for example. It can happen also in other countries. So Heredis the Heredis team did a little research, a big research actually. It took us a long time to decide what to do. So we looked into the censuses we could find, and we decided which field we will add. So for example, the US, if I change if I do not choose the 1940 but the 1920, because it's the 1920, you will see here there are more ticked boxes. You can see here some fields that will be sent to facts. And below we can see fields that will be sent to events of the person. Here the city is Boston, Suffolk, Massachusetts. Then I can click on source in order to edit the source and decide how I want to enter the source. Do I want to change the title? I can if I want. That's okay. Here, the title is predetermined by what you entered here in the record references. So feel free to change it. The document field is automatically using the title of the page, the online page you find the image. So you can change it. For example, here, this link, I don't want it here in documents. It's not the point. It's here in a website. So I can change and enter, for example, census. The document is the kind of document you find. So here it's a census. Could be a certificate, birth certificates, register, for example, or other documents. Here I choose the medium, like is it a copy, a digitizing media, is it a microfilm, an original, or a publication, for example. You can change the quality of the data. Are you sure it's the right information or not? So if I found the record online, then I have the record, so it's sure. But if it's my grandma who told me that my ancestors were recorded in a census, then it will not be so sure, depending on how well she is. The repository is who does have the original of the census. So here I found it on family search. So I will enter family search because that's what I found. You can enter data on the repository that will be added to a repository index. So enter address if you want, the email if you have one, the website, etc. Usually we use it. It's supposed to be used, like, for example, on the archives of states. So if I went to the Massachusetts archives, for example, then I can enter the address of the archives, I can enter the website, and in notes I can add the when they are open or not. The call number is very important when you have it, because it's the number you will use to get to the original. So if you have it, please enter it. It's very important. Found it online, so I do not have one. The date, it's the date of the census, of the documents, but some people want to enter the dates they found the record. So your choice. Author, there is no author on the census, but if someone sends you his JETCOM file, for example, then you can add the author to be the person who created the JETCOM. Same thing for the email. The website, if there is one, you can add it, and here you can add some comments. Then if I go on household, I will be able to enter the data I have. So I cut a little bit too much here. So can I go back? No, I can't. I don't remember the address, but here it's the address you're supposed to enter. It will be in the place subdivision, in the subdivision field. So for example, it will be, I don't know, Brighton Street or Main Street. I think it's Brighton Street. You can enter the number also if you do have it. Composition is how many people live in the same house. In the same household. So for example, here we have 2 persons, and then I can add people. So with the plus button, I can add a person in the household. Every time you see a plus, you can know for sure that you can add something. If you see a minus sign, then you can delete data. And if you see a pencil, it means you can edit the data and change it. So here I click on plus. So the surname is Thomas. And the given name, Christopher. There. Oh, it's red. Well, it turns red because Heredis knows there is already a Christopher Thomas in my file. So I am invited to click here on the red button in order to check if it's the same Thomas Christopher. This way I will not create a duplicate. Very, very important. So I click on the red button. If it's not red, it's magnifying glass. You can also click on it because sometimes the spelling is different. So it can be interesting to change a few letters in order to check in your file if you do not already have this person. So here is Christopher Thomas. I have his summary. You can click on the buttons here in order to check. And here I see Thomas Nora. Seems to be him, so I click on OK to validate. I see that I knew he was engineer. Let's see in the here he is engineer. So that's him. I can change the data if I want. Maybe when he was in 1920, maybe he was not an engineer. I can change it. It's okay. I will. This way you will see, like, for example, for the example, I will just add a word like mechanical engineer. This is a sample file. It's totally not real. I mean, I'm inspired by some real persons, but it's not a real file. So I changed mechanical engineer. He's the head of the household, so that's okay. Does he know how to read? It's those. So yes. This language spoken, English. It's here. Here. It's not, it doesn't say, but he's from New Jersey, so yes, he knows English. And race, I saw it here. Here, white, for example. So you can do that for all the people in the same house. So here I click on plus and add Thomas Nora. And she's red again. So let's click and see. Same thing, it's the same person. I click on OK. The data already in my file is uploaded. I can change it. And here I can choose what is our status what is our status according to, I'm not sure of the word, sorry, my English is so bad. He, she is wife, daughter, son. You can choose a role. What is their relation to the head of the household? So she is the spouse, and she speaks English. And oh, wrong field. English. She can read, etc. Here in family links, it's very important to click and go there. Why? Because you can add more links. For example, you can click here and choose another link, like for example, the stepmother, or I don't know, someone, an employee, or whatever relation it is. So feel free to check the different kind of relation. If you do not find it, check over type of link and add here what is the relation of between the two persons. So here she is his wife. In additional info, you can add data. For example, if you couldn't find a way to enter that she I don't know, she maybe she's sick, or you find over data, so you can enter it here. When I validate, I will check all the data. For example, here you have a very red triangle. So why is this triangle? Well, it means that I changed something from my original data. If I click here, I can choose what I want to keep. Either I keep both data, what I entered before, or what I entered right now, or I choose between the two. So here it was just to show you the red button. So check all the data here, and then you can choose either to create the source, choose a source from the source index. For example, if you use one source for multiple records, you can choose one. And if you want to use one source for one record, then just create it. You have to choose where to assign the source. Do you want to assign it only on the census, or on all the events and facts that will be created at the end of this input. So for example, if you entered birth dates, for example, we added the facts that they knew how to read, then you can source that info, that data with this, with the same source. Here in comments, you can add the citations, for example, the page where you found it, or if you use one source for multiple data, you can precise the citation, the reference to this media, this source. So I found it on page 2, not 12. The summary here can be saved as a note of the source, as a note of the as a transcription of the source, as a citation, or in the event. I will put it in the event to show you. The media can be either added to the source, the citation if you use one source for multiple records, or in the media. I will put it in source. If you use census for multiple, for a full town, for example, just click on next and you will be able to do it again. Otherwise, click on validate. I entered a census here. I have all the data I entered. I found the note here because I chose to put the summary of this entering in the event note event. I found the source, the participants, how many people used to live under this roof. Here I can add a media if I want to, or add also, for example, I will drag the same census if I want to put it. Census, where are you? Here it is. And I put the census here. So it's the one I use for my testing. You see a S here. It means that the census event is shared between multiple people. And here in the participant, I can see who. This way, Heredis will copy the data on both persons, on all the persons here. You do not have to input the data again. So if I navigate on his wife, not that one, the other one, up. Nora, she does have the census also. Okay, so let's do a little pause for questions about input census grid. Do you have questions on that? And then I will go to add a person just manually. Tell me, do you have questions?
I've got a question on census specifically.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that this feature you've just demonstrated was only introduced in 2021?
No, it was introduced in 2019, I think. Yeah, right, 2019.
Okay. Whenever, in previous years, there was a census type you could put in, and you keyed all the data in manually.
Yes.
Now, I have a lot of entries which have got data as a census entered in manually. Is there any way to convert those, or do I have to re-import them as this new type of census record and delete the old one?
There is no need to re-import because the grid is just here to create the events. You already did, actually. Your event is here. You clicked on plus and you added a census. I can't find it. Where they are they? There it is. So you do not have to, but if you want to create all the data from the census, you can recreate it with the census grid. No need to go on online archives. You can click on person, census, and you will have the grid available. Just add the media from your media panel or from your hard drive. And you will be able to enter the data. Why can you do that? Because there are some information that maybe you did not enter yet. For example, you entered the census for sure, but did you enter that they were speaking English or German, or all the data you find in a census, did you input it?
Well, no, because those fields I think were not available when I originally put the data in.
Okay, so you can do it again. It will be wiser.
So will the new fields that are available now, will they be available for me to add the information?
Yes, you can either do it from the Census Grid, or you can add them with as an event or as a fact. For example, you can add manually a fact. If you go in the data, personal data, here you have a fact tab. Click on it and you can add with the plus button, always a plus button to add something. You can add, for example, religion, and say that they were, I don't know, Protestant. Why not? So the fields, they are not new because I will tell you in a few moments, but they are not new because you can personalize, customize the fields, the facts, the events. So even though you entered your census, you have to choose. You can add the data manually if you did not already, or you can use the Census Grid. That's your choice.
Okay, thank you. I think I need to experiment.
Yes, definitely. It's the best way to try. Is the best way to decide. Do I do that for all my census or not?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question on that?
Yeah, Helene, this is Tom. You created now the census for Thomas, and at the same moment for his wife.
Yes.
So what happened? Is it only linked to each person, or is it a own record to each person? That means if you delete it from one, is it also deleted from the other one?
Best way is to show you. So it's linked to the main person, but you can no longer share.
Okay.
And this way, it's not shared, but it stays on the same person.
Okay.
And this button, share, is available for every kind of event in the event field here. So you can have, for example, I don't know, marriage contract. There are multiple persons in a marriage contract, so you can share the marriage contract between the spouse, of course, but not only them, the parents, the witnesses. You can share the data, so you do not have to enter it twice or more on each person.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Other questions?
There was a question from Cindy Rommeldorf. I hope I spelled it right. She was asking, when changing Christopher Thomas's was when you're showing in the census occupation from engineer to mechanical engineer, does this override what was there, or is the new information added only to this census information?
Well, at the end of the Census Grid presentation, when I validate, I had to choose. Either I keep both, or I just choose which one I want to keep. So usually what I do personally is to keep both, except when the person was once an engineer, then a mechanical engineer, and back to a general engineer. And I do not add multiple engineer occupation. I keep engineer and mechanical engineer. I don't know if I express myself well. Okay. I see that it's already 8:30. Shoo, I hope you have time because I have so much to tell you. So let's go on. And we will answer your question as far as we go, and then we will stay afterwards, of course. So add a person. You can add a person. I like the immediate family view. That's my way to enter data. I always did that because I started in 1998, so I am used to it. I like it like this way, but you're not obliged to navigate to that. So to input data, you can input with add a person. If you click on add grandfather, this way I will add a grandfather to Christopher, or you can click on add here and add a father, a mother, a spouse, a child, or unrelated person. If I add unrelated person, I can add a person that does not exist yet in my file, or I can choose here on the matching list. It's very important to always check the matching list if you do not want to have duplicates. So enter data. I don't know, I will choose a very common name, Smith and John. No John Smith, so I can add the person. I can enter all the data I have. I can change the view to add more fields. For example, here I have the basic fields, but if I click on comprehensive, I will have way more fields. So important also in Heredis, as often as you can see an indented wheel, click on it. It doesn't bite, and it does a lot of very interesting things. You can customize the view, of course. If I add the person, what happened? Because I did say unrelated person. Well, I added a new person that is completely not related to any person on my file. So you can do that. I will click on back to go back to Christopher. Here, back and forwards allows you to go back to the person you used before. Here I can click on add and add a link. For example, I can add a link between Christopher Thomas and, I don't know, let's say Pinkerson, Jane, no, Jane. Up, I click on add, and here I will choose what relation they had. So were they friends, were they siblings, were they uncle and nephews, cousins? Sometimes in a record you can have a witness that is a cousin, but you have no idea where from. So don't lose the data and just add a linked person, a sundry link. We call that a sundry link. So if I click on cousin and then I click on OK, I will find this person here in Sundry Links tab. And I see that Jane Pinkerson is the cousin of Christopher Edward Thomas. So when I will find exactly where, how they are cousins, then Jane will be already in my file, and I will just have to add her parents and grandparents if needed. You can also enter alternate names. Alternate names here, they allow you to enter that a person has different kind of names. Like for example, when people immigrates, the spelling changes. But sometimes, even if they did not emigrate, it's okay. The person, the officer that registered the birth or the death or the marriage, made a mistake and misspelled the name. So just click on plus as usual to add something and enter the name. So for example, Jordane is also Jordanus in Italy. And here you can change, you can say how, what kind of type of name it is, like birth name or immigrant name or maiden name or other. And if you choose other, you'll be able here to enter what kind of name it is. Like for example, if it's an artist, it could be his artist's name, alias, pseudonym. Facts, we already saw that. You can add facts, for example, the religion, but others. Nationality, for example, she was from Italy. So Italy, Italian. But she also moved. She could have moved and changed nationality, for example. So that's where you will enter the data. You can add source if you double click here and add a source, witnesses, media, and details. Fields of facts or of events can be customized. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, I will go here. I have my bookmarks here. It allows me to navigate quicker on a person if I add the person in a bookmark. So for example, for this person, Ruth Rosenbaum, I can add an event that doesn't exist in Heredis. So if I don't have the list here and I do not find my the kind of event I'm searching for here on the others events, I can customize one that is completely generic, like events. Event is not a real event. Just double click on the name and you'll be able to enter a new title. What does that mean? Well, it means that I can I don't know, enter, I do not have one in mind. Let me check my notes. Maybe I did put something. Nope. Like for example, travels. And I will be able to find the new customized event here in the category of the event. If you want to add an event that happened post-mortem, meaning after death, do not use that one, because Heredis does check the consistency of what you enter. And if you enter an event after death, Heredis here will say, hey, there is a problem, not possible. For example, if I change the date here, I have a warning, and here I see a red cross, meaning there is an inconsistency. It's not normal to have an event after death. So if I click, I can see what kind of event, what is the problem. If I check the box here, there will be no more control of the consistency. So do not use it unless you really have to. So I made a mistake. It's not the right date, so I can change it. So if you have to add a new event that is not known from Heredis and happened after death, please use the postmortem event and here. You can see succession. It's not originally in Heredis. I added myself on my phone. Okay, what's next? Oh yes, I have something to show you also. Ruth was Jewish. So if I click on plus here on facts, I can add a religion fact to say that she was Jewish. And she, yes, no, what happened? I didn't see the warning. It's the Mac that did that, so it's okay. So the Jewish uses a different calendar from us. So I can here in Heredis we have a date converter. So if I enter the May 7th, 1895, I will see that it is year 13, 5,655 for the dates. In order not to have to write it manually, you can copy the data and then you select and right click to paste, or the it's Command and V to apply, to copy, to paste, sorry. You'll see an H before the date. It means it's an Hebrew date. And if it's a J, it's a Julian date. And if you have a French Republican date, then it will be able to be, Heredis will be able to convert it also. Very important, here in dates, you can find the date of mobile feast. For example, Easter. It's never the same date, never the same every year. So if I have a priest that recorded a birth, a baptism, 3 days after Easter, super. Where can I find the data? Well, I enter, for example, 1750, and Heredis will tell me that Christian Easter was March 29th. So if I had 3 days, it will be April 2nd. So I can enter here April 2nd. So very, very, very interested. I use it all the time because the priest in where I search my ancestors, they always say that 2 days after Pentecost, 2 days after Easter. Super, thanks. Do you have questions on that before I go to explain, before I explain the places? Excuse me.
Where would you put an obituary?
Obituary?
Yeah.
Here you can, I think we have that one. No, we don't. I will put it in an event and I will go postmortem. Obituary is that it's burial, right?
No, it's the nécrologie.
Sorry?
Nécrologie, dans les journaux, après le décès.
Yeah, so burial or postmortem events, yes.
Okay.
And you can customize it and enter, like, double click. If I don't double click, it won't work. Obituary. There.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you can add the date, the place, the subdivision, and everything as usual.
Helene, what is the format to put the date there? I have to use the slash, I think so, no?
You can use slash, space, point, whatever you want.
But no minus?
No minus, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Because minus is almost used in Microsoft Office or something else.
Yes, but so the minus will let Heredis know that the date is previous before Christ.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Oh.
So do not use it in the date field.
So maybe if at the future is a way to, on the standard, to put your own input format or something like that.
Why not? Why not? We'll let our team know. You can change the way the date is appears. For example, here I have. Oh, that's not a good. May, the month, the day, and the year, you can change it in the preferences. So click on the Heredis menu for Mac or tool menu for Windows and click on preference. Oh, you will have here the possibility in appearance to change, nope, not in appearance, in format, sorry, to change to day, month, and year. We do know that we do not have year, month, and day. We did that to our to the suggestions of improvements. Preferences will also let you choose a lot of things. For example, when you enter a place, if the place is in a country that is not usual in your file, you can tick the box to have a suggestion. For example, here, if I enter Dortmund, now I should, hey.
That's not Dortmund. No. You left the T.
Ah, that's why. I don't know how to write it.
It's D-O, yeah, D-O-R-T.
Yeah.
Ah, that's why.
That's
there
why.
you go. So you can see Dutchland, but no worries. You can go in the index here, change the in the index place. Up. You can get the space bigger. Here I can change it easily to Germany. Now that I'm in the places index, I will show you how to manage the change of names. For example, a town can be called something in it used to be I don't know, German, and then it was another country, or it was American and then it's not, or it changes its name. So you can manage that from the index here. So for example, I have Szczecin here in Poland. Well, at some point it was not in Poland, it was in Germany. So I can click on plus to add the place, enter Szczecin. But you can see that Heredis doesn't find it because it's not the right spelling today. So if I enter a lot of Z, hopefully I will not misspell it. Of course I did. Shoo. Ah, I forgot another Z. It's not in the right place. Ah, there you go. I can see Szczecin in Poland, okay? So if I select one, I'll see where it is. If I click on another one, I'll see where it is. There are some homonyms because we use the OpenStreetMap database and sometimes the place was entered twice or more. So Heredis asked the OpenStreetMap database and show you all the results. So instead of replacing and enter Szczecin the way it's spelled today, I can fill up in order to have the coordinates. And instead of Poland, I will enter Germany. And here, I don't know if it was spelled this way. The state was this way during Germany time. So I can change the data and enter. This way, I have Szczecin and Szczecin. I don't know how it's spelled. Hopefully, I'm not mistaken. And now I can tell Heredis that Szczecin is a variant of Szczecin. So if I click on plus here in the variant area, I can add Szczecin. I didn't save the data. That's why I can't find it. So click on save. Then up, I click here, and choose Stettin. The demo, of course. There it is. So if I click on choose, I tell Heredis that Stettin is a variant. Actually, it's the main name because it's the 2 days name, and it has Stettin as a variant. So you can add notes in a place to say that Stettin was called Stettin during a certain time from, I don't know, I have no idea when. I'm sorry, I didn't research for that. Let's say that you can enter notes to remember that Stettin this way was called this way from a certain year to another one. And here in the main place, I can say that it's from a time at a certain point. It was called, it is actually still called Stettin. You see a star. The black star says it's the main element, and the white says it's the variant. Is that clear? Okay. Do you have any questions on that? Nope. Okay. I already told, I'm checking my notes. I had a lot of notes. I was supposed to talk about setup, how to customize Heredis, but I already did. There is one thing I didn't tell you, is that if you go away, there you go. If you do not like the midnight blue screen, you can change it from Windows menu theme and change for, I don't know, chocolate. Why not? You can set up some stuff in preferences, so Heredis menu or tool menu for the Windows version, because this menu is very typical of Mac system. So click on preference, and you can choose how many minutes before the automatic record. If you want to open, when you open Heredis, do you want to see the root person or the last person you had in as a primary person? What country do you want help to enter places? The format, the appearance. The appearance here, there is a very important thing to set up. You have to tell Heredis what is for you a complete event. What does that mean? It means that when you enter data, an event, Heredis will see if it's a complete or not. And for the major events, birth, or baptism for example, for unions, marriage, religious marriage, whatever union, or for death and burial, Heredis will complete those icons, the pink, the yellow, and the black icon. So it will be filled according to that. So it is very important that you say what is very important for you in order to complete the event. So to say, is the event complete if there is no missing or approximative or incomplete dates, if there is a place mentioned, if there is a source mentioned, and if this source is direct, meaning do you really have the birth certificate, or do you have the information that the birth happened at this date because of the wedding certificate? That's not the same. So direct will be, I have the certificate, there is no way it's different. Okay. And the status, no search status, that's here. In every event, you can have a status. Here you can't see it because I'm in the basic appearance. So click on the indented wheel. Always click on the indented wheel. Think of me when you see one. Click on it. And choose comprehensive or customized. And here you will be able to change the status of the record, of the event, sorry. So do you want to search for the record or not? Is it traceable or not? If it's untraceable because it was the record was destroyed, then you won't be able to find it. So you can click on untraceable. If you found it, just click on no search record. And if you want to search for more for the record, just click on search record. According to that, Heredis will change the icons here according to what you set up in the preferences. So it's very, very, very important to do it. Questions? I didn't see all the tools I wanted to show you.
Yes, in appearance, how do you show the ID number for each person in the main view?
Here, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like if Rosenbaum, let's say, had number 39 as a ID number.
So
how do you show that up?
Okay, that is the NNTFL, and it's usually automatic, but you can show it here in preferences, appearance, and you choose the numbering methods. Do you want to use the NNTFL numbering?
So if you use,
if you have a personal,
or the user number, what happens if you use the user number?
Well, you can click here and enter a user number here, like for example, A1.
Okay.
Okay. And if you do not see this field,
the reason I'm asking, the reason I'm asking is I imported all my data from Roots Magic.
Yeah.
And it has a RIN number.
Okay.
Registered ID number. And I would like that to show up as the number for myself, let's say in Heredis. How do I do that?
Well, the problem is you can add it, but if you import from a JETCOM file, it will probably be in the facts as a number in facts. I'm not sure it will appear here in user number. So what you can do is copy and paste the number here in user number. And this way you will be able to see the number here in the immediate family, in XXL family also, and all the documents you want to export. For example, a chart, a book, a sheet, or other documents.
Okay, so it'll show up everywhere.
Yeah, but click on preference here and choose either an NNTFL and user or just the user number. So I planned on showing you a lot of tools, but it's 9 p.m. Can we go on or not?
We are not time limited, so we can go on as long it is necessary and as long the people are interested.
Okay.
So go on if you like.
Okay, let's go on then. So Heredis can, I will start with the charts because I show you the XXL family. So here it's not a very big family tree, but if I navigate to someone else, I can see I do not want him. I want him in order to show even more. Sorry, I'm gonna find someone with a lot of descendants, maybe. Yes. Okay, so here is an XXL family. Well, it's a not so big family, but it can be huge, because we display you the generation of the primary person, but also 3 generations of ancestors and 3 generations of descendants, plus all the collaterals, meaning cousins, uncles, aunts, the great uncle and aunts and their descendants. And sometimes you can see here a ribbon, a colored ribbon that shows you that the person was married twice, once with the one that your primary person descend from, and one other person he had a daughter with. You can click on the indented will. Remember, indented will, really important. To change the display, you can choose the generations you want to display, to hide the media if you do not have a lot of media like me, or I had the silhouette, I didn't have you can hide the silhouette or all the media. And you can hide the navigation panel, and you can export in order to print. If you click in export, you will create you will open a window in order to change the page setup and for example have a customized page setup, and then you change the data. You can export by clicking on PDF file, and then it will be saved on your desktop or on a USB key, flash drive, sorry, in order to give it to a family member, for example, or to give it to a printer. Sorry?
No, I just want to ask if I can put the number of generations displayed.
Here you can change only the generations that we allow you to. It's 7 generations only, because there is a lot of people sometimes, a lot of collaterals, and it will not be easy to read if there is too many people. So we chose voluntarily to stop at 7 generations, 3 of ancestors, 3 of descendants, plus the generation of the primary person.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So for this one, you cannot choose more than 7. You can have less, of course, but not more. In descendants, if you click on in descendant, you will have what we call an indented chart. And if you click on the indented will, as usual, you can change the number and the generation numbers. Well, I do not have more, so of course it will not show more, but if you have like 16 generations, then there will be 16 generations. The Heredis 2021 main new feature is the will, the dynamic ancestors will. As you can see, Heredis shows the ancestors of the primary person in a will form. So you can change the shape of the will, of course, in order to have a fan instead of a will. You can change the number of generations. So let me go back to the root person. You can go through 4 to 12 generations. If I unfocus, you can see they're here. Zoom, focus more to have more data. Here it's very, very thin, so we cannot have a lot of data because it won't be very readable. You can change the coloring. Here it's the generation coloring, but you can choose a gender to color by gender and change the color here with the toolbar. Up, woman in blue and men in green. Not very common, but why not? You can choose the coloring by quarter and with a complete person, meaning do you have birth, union, and death data? And if those events are complete according to what you chose in the preferences, as we just saw before, then it will show you what you need to work on or not. So for example, here we can see that I have a lot of work to do on this file. You can also choose to display empty boxes to see how many people do you need to work on. And you can also choose to show duplicate branches. We call it implexes. Duplicate branches, they mean that you have this person at least twice in your file. It happens because a lot of our ancestors used to marry their cousins. Sometimes it's a close relative, but sometimes they didn't even know. For example, my parents, they were cousins, but they definitely didn't know because it's go back to the eighth generation. So they couldn't know, but they have common ancestors. So here you can see in red what we call an implex, a duplicate branch. If I click right, I will be able to show all occurrences in order to see where in the wheel is the person. So I see she is here and here. You can also click right and highlight a branch in order to show the branch to have it more visible. For example, when you go to a family member and you want to show him his branch, then highlight it. You can do a lot of things. You can see the relations, and feel free to try. So that's the main new feature of Heredis 2021. One that I forgot to show you is that a person, sorry, I do need my my anchor. You can tell Heredis that a person is born from unknown parents. For example, if you have adopted child, then you can have here and here parents that are not traceable. You can't find them because the person was abandoned. So in order to tell Heredis that, click on those two icons. Here, if I click on the father, I will have untraceable father. And why is it important? Well, because Heredis use that data, for example, in the search tracking tool. Annegret told you about that before. So click on Tools, Search Tracking. Heredis will display all the data on the root person, but with the indented wheel, you can change the scope and choose to show the ancestors of the primary person. So here, well, I don't have data on him, of course. He has an untraceable parents. So let's go back to the entire file. I'll see what needs to be done. What do I have to find? So by generation, I can see that here Peter Thomas is complete, but not his wife. Why is it complete? And there is this logo, this icon, because I clicked here in data tab on personal data. I clicked on this little icon to tell that this person, I do not want to search for more data because I already have all I could find. So I did click manually here to say, hey, stop searching for it. There is no more data to search for. So then if I click on the complete person, the line will be completely orange. The color here is orange according to if the event is complete or not. For example, here I see that Michael Thomas, I do not, well, it's orange because he's supposed to be alive. That's why. So that's not the best way to show you. Here, I have Jonatas Jordanet. He was born in Savoie in France, lived in France, whatever. He has his birth and marriage complete, but not his death. Why? If I click on the event, I will navigate to the event, and that is why. I decided that the status is important for me in the preferences here, remember? And I said to Heredis that if the status of the event is search record, then the event is not complete. So Heredis shows you in a search tracking that this event is not complete. So with this tool, you can know exactly what you need to search for, what data you need to search for. The red, it's because the red names, it's because they are in plexes, duplicate branches. You can see it here. It's written duplicate branches. You can filter, add a filter to see the dead ends, like the untraceable father. If it's blue, the generation is blue, it means that there is someone who is untraceable. We did not want to show you, display all the generations, because it can be a lot of people as dead ends sometimes. So you can see Jacob Isaac that I did click on untraceable father. And you can also use the treetops filter in order to know that, okay, the last person I found in this branch, it's Alexander Thomas. I do not have his parents. So now I have to search for more data on him in order to find his parents. Okay. That was for the search tracking. What did I want to show you? I wanted to show you also the, let me go back to Christopher here. In Heredis 2020, and of course 2021, we added this place subdivision that you can locate, geolocate. So click, enter the place, click on the pencil, and you will be able to geolocate it. So here I entered Mass General Hospital in Boston, and here is one of what Heredis found according to OpenStreetMap. So if it's not in OpenStreetMap, Heredis will not find it, but you can contribute and add data in OpenStreetMap since it's communitary. I can fill up the data like I did before, or I can replace by the full name. And here, if I focus more, you'll see that the pin here is on Massachusetts Hospital, Massachusetts General Hospital. And here in map, you'll see exactly where it is. In history tab, you'll see all the migration of the person, of the primary person, his parents, spouse, siblings, and children. With the indented wheel, you can change it and display only his own data, not his family events. So you can see all the migrations. Oh yeah, I forgot. In tools we have in zoom in on the world. We have family tree mapping here, and it will be like the migration, but for your full your entire file. By default, it shows you the ancestors of the primary person, but you can change it for all the persons in your file. So you can see where they used to live. The number is the number of persons, events, sorry. So for example, here we have persons who used to live in Cole. I don't know if I pronounce it well. And you can see who, and you can navigate on them. Very interesting to see where they used to live. You can create reports in documents, reports here, a lot of reports, and customs reports. I can't show you them all because there are too many. You can create sheets, books. If you click here on sheet or book, you will be able to choose the options you want and personalize it. Then when you click edit, it will open with your word processor. So you can change the data after. It will not be sent to Heredis, but you will be, for example, able to change a phrase, a sentence, because the computer is smart, but not that smart. It's not a journalist or a writer. So the computer uses generic sentences. So feel free to change it in the word processor in order to have it more human. I'll stop here, otherwise Annegret will kill me. There are so many, so many tools. I can't show you them all. The very last one I forgot is the ancestor here. Just 1 second, I got a promise. I will let you speak. With the indented wheel, you can change the number of generation, and here you can show the location tree. Location tree will show you where the person were born. So for example, Jack Thomas was born in New York City, just like his great-grandfather, Christopher Thomas. And you can choose the country location tree to see that there is a lot of people from all over the world, just like we are tonight. I'll stop here, Annegret. Otherwise, I can continue on all night.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Can I ask about addresses?
Sorry?
Helene, I still have a question, if it's possible.
Yes.
Yes, well, I have around 1,100 people in my Heredis.
Okay.
And it's nice to print the descendants of the root person.
Yes.
But I also have clusters of family members whom I did not link to the root person. I still have to look for the link. Is it possible to print everything except from the root person descendants?
In a tree chart or in a report?
Chart.
You can place a person as the primary person, even if it's not someone from the, oh, I forgot, the yellow head means it's the direct line of the person, of the root person. So for example, if I choose someone who's not a direct line, I can create a chart with her as the primary person. either descendant. Here I can't because she doesn't have descendants. But you can, and then use unlimited charts. This way you won't be limited by the number of generation.
Yes, but the problem is I have a lot of clusters and I don't know which person is in which cluster. So it would be nice if the program could select everything except the descendants of the root person.
I can think about it. I think there is a way, but I'm not sure. I have to try it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Can you? How can we proceed, Annegret? Can we get the email addresses in order to? Or can you? No, the best way will be. Can you send us an email?
Yeah.
Directly from us, so I can look into it tomorrow and see how we can do that in Heredis. So if you need to contact us, go on heredis.com/en, I think, and click on help, contact Heredis, or you have the contact at heredis.com.
Okay.
Contact at heredis.com. Send us an email and we will answer. These days we have more than 200 emails a day, so it takes time, but we answer.
I understand. And I want to thank you and your colleague for doing overtime for us and to spend time to go through the software so thoroughly. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you to you for being here. I have also another question.
Helene, here's Georg from
How do you handle
Roland.
addresses?
Addresses in place subdivision, just like Massachusetts Avenue, Massachusetts, just like not that one. How did I do? Sorry, Christopher. Remember, I geolocate subdivision here, Massachusetts General Hospital. That's where you put the address. So, for example, Brighton Street, for example, Main Street, you will add it here, and with a pencil, you'll be able to geolocate it if it still exists.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Georg.
Ellen, here's Georg from the Roland to Dortmund. What we like to do is we said at the beginning, the president of the Roland, Angela Sigge, said that we will invite everyone to stay in this Zoom room for the virtual Roland Café, and I think then we can ask more questions, or maybe there's something more you want to show us. And if you like to stay with Annegret a while to answer more questions. And what I would like to do now is then to take back your screen sharing for the closing words of Angela. I think Angela is still here, yeah?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I will take this screen sharing back, and then Angela can speak her closing words, and then I will stop the recording, and then we can stay in this room as long as we want.
Just one more thing. Annegret had something to say about special offer. And again,
yes.
We still have our little surprise. And also I want to give a few information about how to contact us to find more information about Heredis. I think it could be also interesting. So if I share right now.
Maybe there is no need to record.
Or this,
because
it's a one-time game, actually.
But it's okay. We can record it, and so do you have to take your screen sharing back for this, or I don't know.
Annegret, do you want your screen sharing?
Yeah, I would like to.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Moment, Angela. So we want to do this surprise first, and then we can speak our closing words, and then we can change to the virtual cafe, and everybody who left this meeting, yeah, bad luck for them because the surprise is very nice you are doing now.
Yeah. So just short information, if you want to contact us, you have also like our address to contact our client service, our website in English. We have also a Facebook page. And also if you have any information, as Helen has already showed to you, that we have a knowledge base where you have all information about our features, but also about technical questions, information, what do you need, what kind of computer prerequisites you need. And now to our surprise, because we wanted to give two of you a free license of our newest version, Heredis 2021, if you have the right answer to a little question we have created. And I would like you to write the answer in the chat. So the two people who know it at first and type it at first in the chat, they will be the winner. And please write also the full name or the complete name of the answer in the chat to win. So are you all ready? There is ready.
Put the cursor into the chat, please, so that you can type in quickly when you know the answer.
Okay, so the question is, in which European country is Heredis based?
Oh,
okay.
Okay. So let's check who were the first ones. I think Tom and Eileen, is it right?
Yes.
Yeah, Tom and Eileen. So yeah. So how to get in contact with you to get the license is to write an email, or what can they do?
If you can write me a private message with your email address, your name, your surname, your address, and also which operation system you're using, like if you're using Mac or if you're using Windows, and then we will send you the license link, and you will have the new version of Heredis 2021. So félicitations for the both who have won.
The same for Eileen, yeah. So she should write to you then too.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
And
congratulations to the winners.
Yeah,
congratulations.
And for those who haven't been quickly enough to answer the question, we have also. Oh, it's not working. Yeah, we have also a special offer for this evening. We want to give you 20% off on our English and German online shop. So you can memorize or write down the coupon code IGGP Roland. And if you put it in the field of voucher, you will have a 20% account until February the 7th. So also for you, there will be a possibility to get the Heredis.
So Annegret, can we put the links and the this IGGP Roland into the chat so that we all can save the chat?
Yeah. I will write it in the chat as well.
Yeah, and my reminder is how to save the chat. If you look at the bottom frame of the chat box of the chat window, you will see this little square with the 3 dots in it. So click on this little square with the 3 dots, and you will have the option to save the chat onto your computer.
And yeah, and otherwise, I want to thank you for your interest and for participating with us today. Our presentation. And then, yeah, I want to give the word back to you, Angela.
Yes, thank you very much, Annegret. And thank you very much, Helene, for showing us the new version of Heredis. It looks like a wonderful software with many useful features. And I especially want to thank everyone who joined us tonight. We hope you will join us again at another event of Roland to Dortmund or the IGGP. For now, we invite you to stay a bit longer in our Roland Café for open discussions. And for those of you who wish to leave, we thank you again for coming and wish you continued success with your family history research.